The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is continuing investigations into a report of the abduction of 12-year-old Kernisha Etienne. Kernisha Etienne was abducted from her home situated at Glasham, Warner, about 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday, 7th June 2022. Kernisha resides with her guardians, Elizabeth Tit Bruno and Joseph Laurent Bruno, at Glasham, Warner. Kernisha is a student of the Warner Primary School and is in grade 5. At the time of the abduction, Kernisha was wearing a yellow nightgown and a pair of pink Nike slippers. On the same night of Tuesday, June 7, 2022, police officers responded immediately to a report of wounding in the community of Warner and was informed that Kernisha was abducted by Kian Alexander of Bells. Police officers from various police stations and sections, including the Special Service Unit, immediately conducted searches in the vicinity of the victim's home in Glasham, Warner, Sultan and Bells. On the morning of Wednesday, June 8, 2022, a command center was established in the immediate area where the incident was reported to have taken place. The search continued and was intensified on the morning of Wednesday, June 8, 2022, and a total of 18 searches were conducted by the police and civilians. One drone was utilized during the search on that day. During one of the searches on Wednesday, June 8, 2022, a brown teddy bear, the right side of a pink Nike slippers, a yellow washcloth, and a black belt were recovered about 450 feet southwest from the house where Kernisha Etienne resides. The right side of the pink Nike slippers was identified by Elizabeth Tit Bruno as belonging to Kernisha. The brown teddy bear was identified by Elizabeth Tit Bruno as her property. The belt and yellow washcloth have not yet been identified. Having discovered the items, the searches were concentrated in the area where the items were recovered. Searches were then extended to Sultan, where the suspect was seen the night prior to the incident. Searches were conducted in the Bells area, where the suspect was known to have resided. Searches were conducted in the Layu Park area, as there are trails leading from Warner to Layu Park. Searches were conducted in the Sultan area, as there are trails linked to Glasham. Searches were conducted in the Syndicate area, where Kian Alexander was known to have been for a period of time. It is also the area where his father is known to have been farming. Searches were conducted in the Sylvania area, where the suspect was seen on previous occasions. Searches were conducted in the Jimit, Belfast areas, as there is a trail extending from Glasham to the Belfast River. A building in the Zabrico Heights, where it was reported that the suspect was seen after the abduction, was also searched. On Thursday, June 9, 2022, the left side of a pink Nike slippers was found about 150 feet from the victim's house. Police-led searches were organized in teams consisting of police officers, fire officers, forestry officers, and civilians. In the days following the abduction, 105 police officers were utilized on a daily basis in extensive searches. The police officers were assisted by members of the public. As the searches intensified, there were in excess of 400 civilians assisting together with the fire, customs, and forestry officers. Every team that was deployed was properly briefed by the commanders of the operation at the command center. The teams were briefed with clear instructions to search and rescue Kernisha as a priority. The teams were instructed to capture the suspect, Kian Alexander, for the purpose of finding Kernisha Etienne. New measures were implemented to control the civilians' participation with a view to enhance the searches. There was a gradual reduction in the civilian support searches as the search progressed into the third week. In addition to the searches, officers were inserted in strategic areas deep in the forest on a 72 hours rotation cycle with a view to capturing Kian Alexander and rescuing Kernisha. On Thursday, June 16, 2022, Kian was sighted by a number of civilians in the Brook Hill area. The civilians attempted to capture Kian, but he evaded them and made good his escape. Kernisha was not seen in his company. Kian escaped, leaving behind one cutlass, one axe, one greenish cape, one broadside bag containing old clothing items, one green-handled knife, one small red pouch, and a piece of multicolored cloth. The civilians immediately notified the police, and the search in that area was intensified. In excess of 150 police officers, fire officers, and forestry officers were deployed to the Clark Hall, Brook Hill estate where Kian was sighted. There was no further sighting of Kian on that day. Kernisha was not seen. On Friday, June 17, 2022, there was no sighting of Kian or Kernisha. On Saturday, June 18, 2022, about 10 a.m., Kian was sighted by a team of police officers and civilians who were on the search and rescue operation in the Brook Hill area. Kian fled and escaped further into the heights of Brook Hill. He was pursued by a team of police officers on the Gorgona Ridge. The officers called on him to surrender. He refused and drew his cutlass from behind his back. The officers attempted to apprehend him. Kian dashed aggressively towards one of the officers with the cutlass raised above his head. He was shot in self-defense. He sustained gunshot wounds to the lower extremities. Thus far, it appears to me that the police officers acted in self-defense at the time when Kian Alexander was shot. At no time did the officers intend to kill Kian Alexander. It was always the objective of the police to apprehend Kian alive. I am not at liberty to provide more information on this matter, as it is for litigation before the coroner's court. A police officer who is a certified medic rendered first aid to Kian in the heights of Gorgona Ridge. Brook Hill, he was placed on a makeshift stretcher and carried out of the forest to Clark Hall. It took the officers about 1 hour and 15 minutes to carry Kian to the Clark Hall public road. A medical doctor had been summoned to provide medical assistance. On arrival at Clark Hall, about 1 hour and 15 minutes after the shooting incident, Kian was examined and pronounced dead by the medical doctor. Kian was transported to the Lyndhurst Funeral Home pending an autopsy. On Tuesday, June 21, 2022, an autopsy was performed on the body of Kian Alexander. A coroner's inquest was convened, and the matter now stands adjourned. At no time from June 7th to present has Kernisha been sighted. Kernisha Etienne is still missing. The whereabouts remain unknown. Finding Kernisha Etienne is still the priority for the police. This is a very heartbreaking situation for all of us. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has been provided with tremendous support and resources from the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, particularly the Ministry of National Security and Home Affairs, to include the Office of Disaster Management, Republic of France, the Regional Security System, private sector, and members of the public. It is a true manifestation of a national effort in the search and rescue operation of Kernisha Etienne. As of June 27, 2022, 306 search teams have been deployed, 208 police search teams, and 98 civilian search teams. Searches were conducted with the assistance of search and rescue dogs, including a cadaver dog, in Glasham, Brook Hill, Layu Park, Kafi, Jimit, Clarkall, Syndicate, Atley, Bells, and Sultan. A number of drones were utilized in the search and rescue operation at all the search sites. A number of residential buildings in Warner and Bells, and also abandoned, unoccupied, and dilapidated buildings in Warner, Sultan, Bells, Brook Hill, Layu Park, Corona, Sultan, Sylvania, Clarkall, and Belfast were thoroughly searched. I can report that extensive searches have been conducted in areas of Bells such as Glogonier, Credbull, Jacko Flat, and Stonehill, Campbell, Atley, Chapara, Penrice, Despot, Sylvina, Springfield, William in Poncassi, Sherwood Estate, an area between Warner and Sultan, Layu Valley to include Gingeret Estate, Gould, and Cahome Estate. Rest days for police officers were cancelled from June 5, 2022, and our attention have been focused on finding Kernisha. Let me use this opportunity to commend my police officers for their hard work, dedication, and commitment to duty, as well as for their bravery and tenacity being displayed during this time. Mention must be made of the Deputy Chief of Police, Mr. Lincoln Corbett, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Davidson Valerie, and all the gazetted officers for their hard work in this operation. It would be remiss of me not to mention the officers of the Fire and Ambulance Services, Forestry Division, and Customs and Excise Division, who have also been with us from day one and are continuing to work with the police. I extend special thanks to the health team who are partnering with us in this search and rescue operation. To the many civilians who turn out on a daily basis to assist with the search, I say thank you. Your contribution is a testimony that together we can achieve much and sets the stage for future collaboration and partnership to ensure that our country remains safe. Let me thank the various government departments and the private sector who continue to provide with us the necessary resources and support. I wish to reiterate that investigations into the abduction of Kernisha Etienne is ongoing. A team of 4 investigators is following all leads. I can also say that we are continuing the search and rescue operation for Kernisha Etienne, and we will follow all leads. I solicit your continued support and assistance in this matter. Anyone with information are asked to call the numbers 911-1-800-4468, 266-5165, 266-5164, 266-4429, or 618-3772. I thank you.